So, what's going on in the garage? So as I said, I'm trying to get rid of everything that's taking up space. And we're by no means complete yet. But I've got a little shelf over there by my sockets to allow for charging of bits and pieces. And at the moment, the Hoover and the jet washer sitting under it. My recycling pedal bin. I've been working on my air corner. Still not finished, but basically made a small work surface above my compressor to maximise the density of stuff I've got in here. Above it I've got my powder coating oven and I've got my grip blasting cabinet. At the moment that's just hanging all the various tools I need, but it will change. I've got my trolley jacks underneath there and some other heavier boxes of bits and pieces, using the back of the leg for the actual air supply stuff. It's coming on. The whole of this back wall was kitchen units. They've all gone now, just the few on the wall which I'm still making my mind up whether to leave or not. The toolbox, the new one, I will park underneath that socket. The socket is going to be about 3 or 4 inches above the work surface, so that's perfect. My trolley has just got stuff I'm still trying to organise and clear, including a car cover, if that's what you'd call it, for the camper van. So he's got to go. And the hamper has rags and things in for the garage. And there is my whole toolbox. Yes, the door has literally fallen off it. It doesn't normally look that messy. I've just been stacking stuff on top of it because I've pulled out so many storage units, I've got nowhere to stick anything. And I do have this one piece of old Dexian shelving, which I may salvage, paint up, carry on using. Not sure, probably going to move it though. I've got the big wrapped up package is aluminium sheeting. That's for the bodywork for my gravity racer. Another day. Too many projects, but quite an interesting project. I have obviously over-engineered it, as you would expect. Just little clues, yeah, rose joints, inboard suspension, disc brake, yeah, stupid. And then this corner is essentially empty, or will be. So you can see the concept, guys, is I'm trying to make a big workshop space and yet keep all my stuff in there, hence the beautiful new toolbox cum cabinet. One quickie on my previous video, a few of you caught a glimpse, it was Secrets of the XK8 episode 12 of my sink. Some of you thought it might be in my kitchen. No, we're a little cleaner than that. And a couple of people commented on me chucking engine oil, etc., down the drain. I'd just like to do a little proof, which is there's my sink, there's my bucket. Because it's in the garage, because I do all sorts of messy stuff with it, I let it drain down into a bucket, then put a lid on it, pour it into old oil cans and take it to the tip. I need to get on and paint the walls white now. So I could leave the cabinet above it. It's not really doing any harm. Give it a clean up, clean down, wipe up, all that sort of thing. I mean, obviously I've got useful things like a horn in there, but at the moment it's where I'm storing some of my stock, so springs and grommets and whatever, all sorts in there. So something to think about. And the toolbox will obviously be going. I shall have some fun relocating all my stuff into my new cabinet, and also power tools and bits and pieces which are stored elsewhere can go down there. Some of the stuff off the shelves can go. I'm lucky I've got quite a high garage, but the rafters at the moment have still got quite a lot of junk in there. Some of it can come down never see the light of day again. Other things are actually quite useful. There's a box of rubber hoses up there, I know. Some vinyls, there's actually some leather, some canali hide, acetate, all sorts of bits and pieces. But another plan, just while we're on this, is that I would like to put a scissor lift in there. Now, I all know, I think, that a 2-post lift is the best lift in terms of access. You can get everything on the car, they're brilliant, but you do need to have a really good floor in which to mount it. My floor is of unknown heritage, and I do have some cracks. Plus, although this is a reasonably sized garage, it would mean having a pillar kind of here if I was over to one side, or completely taking up the width of the garage if I put 2 pillars in and centered the car. And people do say you shouldn't put one of the pillars right by the wall, so you know, it kind of takes up the entire garage. 4-post, worse still in terms of how much space it occupies. So I'm thinking of getting a good scissor lift with 2 ramps that you can get in between, so not the sort that completely obliterates the middle of the car, that sits on the floor and you can park on top of it. The only unit in addition to that is a little compressor or hydraulic pump, which is probably about the size of my jet wash, that would be permanently attached to it. And to get the right sort, you can drag them out, and as you guys know, I have quite a big driveway. It can't go on the gravel for obvious reasons, I'd never get back off, but I've got plenty of space. You can drag it out and maybe use it to lift campy as well. So all sorts of ideas, they all take time. I work away from home, they all take money, and you've only got so much. So I hope you've enjoyed this different edition of To The Garage, where for once we went to the garage. Now I've got my new toolbox, I'm going to be happy as a sandboy, transferring all my tools and trying to find nice homes for them and organising stuff, and busy working, achieving nothing. That'll make me happy, and we can get back to the projects real soon. For those of you XK8 fans, I've got a big list of videos to make. Some are in edit, more secrets of the XK8, more modern maintain, some more make your XK8 go faster stuff, plus some just general outings. Track day coming up as well, want to get that out on the track to get some nicer shots and some better noises, and just to have a bit of a hoot. The camper van is due to have its 10,000 mile review. I've just about driven 10,000 miles in it. I've had it many years. It's a camper van. The Jeep will be going in for another service very soon, and myself and my wife need to decide whether we're keeping that car or we're going to change it over, and is it for another Jeep. So that's some interesting stuff. The Navara is also coming up towards yet another milestone, so we'll be doing a review on what's gone wrong with that. Lots of questions been coming in on how to remove stuff again. If it's chrome, you seem to want to remove it. I've got some of those filmed, I just haven't got round to editing it all up. And projects, and as you've seen, I've got a gravity racer in here, and welders, and all sorts of little projects tucked away, and my box of horrors. So much to come. I don't know when I'm going to get to it all, but I've got to say, it's the comments from you guys that are keeping all this running. Genuinely just set up as a hobby. Turns out I'm quite happy talking to myself. I like sharing what I'm up to, but I think I would have probably just drawn a line under it by now if it wasn't for the great comments and online friends that are making for doing this. So keep it coming, love it, and I'll see you again very soon on To The Garage. Thanks guys.